both Christians and non-Christians alike are more broadly appreciating how silent evolution is on most of this stuff. It doesn't really settle most of these debates because it's largely silent about theological concerns and God.
One of the things I always thought growing up was there was one view of evolution where everything is just totally random and there's no teleology, nothing else beyond mere random mutations and natural selection. So I'm curious, Josh, in your view, in the scientific community, do a lot of people still hold to that view? And where do you stand? Do you think there's maybe not consensus views, but views that are accepted within mainstream science that would not hold to a purely random version of evolution? So yeah, I was curious your thoughts on that.
There's a debate in science about how much is contingent versus how much is convergent.
Mm-hmm.
Or, so there's a debate and there's a trade-off. I mean, there's some stuff that's contingent. It has to do with random effects, right, that you can't really predict ahead of time. But then there is a component, depending on what you're looking at, it does seem to be reproducible. And how much of what? Well, I mean, a large part of it depends on what precisely you're looking at. And exactly what level you're looking at and all that. So to some extent, I worry a little bit about, or often about just the debate. Some of this debate is just people are looking at different things. And if you look at different things, you'll see a different thing dominating. But it really is kind of this issue that we do see patterns and we do see randomness or, kind of things, and we're not sure where it's going to go. It's both those things we see. Now, how do you think about that from a Christian point of view? As a Christian point of view, you can say that, the stuff that was kind of these things that are repeated, maybe that is kind of stuff that God has built into the way how the world works to kind of reproduce things. And you can see teleology there, maybe. But I would be cautious about seeing that as the good and the other side being the bad, because, that's also the other place is a place for God's choice. And, and things that are random to us could be what God's divine providence is really governing and really, doing in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And so really all of it, I think, is God. And I think is under God's governance, I should say. And I don't really see the push and pull. What I would say is I think is hopefully happening more and more in recent years is that both Christians and non-Christians alike are more broadly appreciating how silent evolution is on most of this stuff. It doesn't really settle most of these debates because it's largely silent about theological concerns and God. And so that creates a lot of flexibility, honestly. I mean, evolution, can be told with this theologically potent atheistic story. I mean, that's going to be a problem for Christians, okay, but that's obvious. But it can also be told in a way that's far more neutral, that makes space for a lot of different ways of engaging with it. And I think that's really what where science is right now, and really trying to be clear about what we found, but also, try and not tell it with the theologically loaded baggage to the extent that we can.